This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Thursday, November 30th, 2023. I'm Kate Sharon. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has awarded a $25 million business and industry loan guarantee that will support the construction of a $115 million biomanufacturing facility in Richmond. New York-based Liberation Labs made the announcement Thursday, along with Georgia-based Ameris Bank, which helped secure the loan. Liberation Labs announced plans for its first biomanufacturing facility in January, with the goal of creating 45 jobs. Construction on the plant began in June, and commercial production is expected to begin by the end of 2024. The BNI loan is a government-backed loan made available to businesses located in areas with a population of 50,000 or fewer and are designed to help spur economic development. Anderson-based Lampco Federal Credit Union has been focused on Madison County for 60 years and is now eyeing expansion opportunities in Indianapolis and some of its suburbs. In October, the National Credit Union Administration gave its approval to Lampco to expand its field of membership in Marion, Hamilton, and Hancock counties. That means credit union can now add members who live, work, worship, or attend school anywhere in the four-county area. Lampco has $65.8 million in assets and about 7,500 members. Based on local assets, Lampco ranked 14th in IBJ's 2023 list of biggest credit unions. A long-standing restaurant in the northeast city of Angola will close its doors permanently after the new year. The hatchery announced in a post on Facebook that increasing food costs and workforce difficulties contributed to the decision. The hatchery has operated in Angola for nearly 40 years. The restaurant's menu touts a variety of seafood and steaks, including filet mignon, Atlantic lobster tails, and sesame tuna. As the restaurant moves towards its last day on January 13th, owners Heather and Mark Adam Meston said they are shifting their focus to growing their other venture, Elizabeth Street Kitchen. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to Engage Central Indiana, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. You won't want to miss our fireside chat with Governor Holcomb and the Michael A. Carroll Award presentation to Mitch Daniels. Plus, we'll dive into the important issues shaping the region's economy. It's December 6th at the JW Marriott in downtown Indy. RSVP at ibj.com/engage.
Indiana's largest teacher union is calling for better collective bargaining, increased pay for support staff, and more say over curriculum in the upcoming legislative session. IIB's Alex Brown has more.
Indiana State Teachers Association President Keith Gamble said Tuesday that Hoosier educators are also seeking new social and emotional learning support for students. The General Assembly reconvenes January 8th. Although Republican legislative leaders have said they do not plan to reopen the state budget during the short session, the ISTA's latest agenda includes multiple funding requests that total at least $540 million. The ISTA will advocate for a $500 million increase to basic tuition support for traditional public schools in the 2025 fiscal year, the second year covered by Indiana's current biennial budget. Gamble said that amounts to a boost of 7.98% compared to what schools are currently on track to receive. Under current law, K-12 public schools are projected to see average per-student funding increases of 1.7% next year. To address ongoing gaps in social and emotional learning support for students, Gamble said the union is proposing a 3-year pilot program focusing on student well-being. The ask comes with a $20 million annual price tag. The ISTA is further seeking to restore discipline as a mandatory discussion item or under-restored collective bargaining rights. Gamble said doing so would help teachers better address student disciplinary issues that have become more common since the pandemic. Alex Brown, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Cincinnati-based Total Wealth Planning has acquired Charles A. Lyles & Associates Incorporated in Indianapolis. Financial terms of the deal are not being disclosed. Total Wealth Planning is an independent fee-only registered investment advisor and manages $986 million in investments under management and an additional $20 million of unmanaged assets. Lyles & Associates, which has $41 million in AUM, will be absorbed into the Ohio company as a result of Lyles' retirement. While Total Wealth Planning expands into Indiana, Lyles will assist as a consultant for a year to oversee the transition. General Motors is losing money on every electric vehicle it sells, but the company says it's on track to generate mid-single-digit pre-tax profit margins in 2025 as it produces more higher-margin EVs, works out kinks in battery manufacturing, and sees battery cost reductions. That's what Chief Financial Officer Paul Jacobson told analysts at a Barclays conference in New York on Thursday, conceding that the company has struggled to ramp up electric vehicle manufacturing. Specifically, the company has had trouble with machinery that stacks battery cells into modules at its Ultem Cells battery plant near Warren, Ohio, a joint venture with LG Energy Solution of Korea. The Ports of Indiana has recently hired 2 financial executives. Brian Burgess, a longtime financial leader at several companies, has been brought on as the state's Port Authority's new chief financial officer. Erica Jackson, who worked in other Ports of Indiana finance roles from 2019 to 2020, has also been named vice president of finance. Newly retired news anchor Debbie Knox is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Kate Sharon for Inside Indiana Business, Radio on Demand.